Hello and welcome to World of Warships Legends. I am Scooter939 and a little bit of different video for you guys today. I'm going into my first ever review of a ship. So the Krasny Krym, brand new tier 4 free XP ship. The Krasny Krym is nothing but a little mini Chapayev. At tier 4, she can reach out to 16, almost 17 kilometers away. There are most battleships at this range that can't even shoot that far. So, the Krasny Krym, I'm using the standard Russian cruiser captain, the Kuznetsov, and I also use him, of course, in my Kuznetsov and in my Chapayev. So, I won't go into all the commander builds that I have because by now most of you guys should know what cruisers captain skills I use for the Russian cruisers. But the Krasny Krym was a light cruiser of the Soviet Navy. She was laid down in 1913 as Svetlana for the Imperial Russian Navy. She was the lead ship of the Svetlana class. She was built by the Russo-Baltic shipyard in Tallinn, Estonia, and launched in 1915. Her hull was evacuated to Petrograd when the Germans approached the port in late 1917, and she laid incomplete during the Russian Revolution. The ship was completed by the Soviets in 1926, and during World War II, she supported Soviet troops during the Siege of Odessa, the Siege of Sevastopol, and the Kerch-Feodossia operation, and I butchered that name, and I'm sorry if I did, in the winter of 1941 into 1942. The Krasny Krym was awarded the Guards title on June 18, 1942. The ship was reclassified as a training ship in 1954 of November, before being scrapped in July of 1959. She is a light cruiser with a displacement of 6,839 tons, 6,731 long tons. She is 158.4 meters long. She has a beam of 15.35 meters, and she has a draught of 6.65 meters. She has 50,000 ship horsepower, and she has 13 Yarrow water tube boilers for engines. Her propulsion, she has 4 shafts. Her speed, she can get 29 knots. And her range, she had a decent range of 3,350 nautical miles, which is 6,200 kilometers or 3,860 miles. She has 15 single 130 millimeter guns. She also has 9 single 76mm anti-aircraft guns, and she has 2 triple 450mm torpedo tubes, which reach out to, I believe, the standard 4.5 kilometers or 4 or 5 kilometers. Armor, well, let's just say she has none. Upper and lower decks, she has 20mm. Her gun shields have 25 millimeters. Her lower armor belt has 76 millimeters, and her upper armor belt has 25 millimeters, and her conning tower has 76 millimeters. So the game that I have here in the background, it's not a high damage game, but it kind of shows what you can do in the Krasny Krym. And as you can see, you don't have to angle your ship one way or the other to be able to get all of your guns on one side to fire. So it really comes in handy when you're facing up against destroyers, because you don't have to sit there and wait for your guns to turn around to where you can put all guns to bear on a destroyer. Against battleships, you mainly want to just fire HE. Just like any other Russian cruiser, you don't really want to fire AP at any battleships because you're not going to pin them. You want to be an HE spammer. She has a very good fire chance, and now against cruisers, I would not recommend firing AP as well unless it is a light cruiser, so like an Emerald, or you know, something to that fact of, or an Omaha, or you know, a Pensacola. If something has light side armor, you can use armor piercing. But against heavy cruisers like the Japanese, the Germans, the French, I would fire HE at those types of heavy cruisers because you're not going to pen their armor and get citadels. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very unreliable. So you mainly want to be firing HE out of this thing. And as you can see, the range is pretty good for this cruiser, and you can actually rack up some damage pretty quickly in this ship. You just don't want to get close, because you will take some hits. As you can see from this match earlier, you will take some damage. So there we go, we just took down the New York. So this thing is meant to be a nuisance, and if you have a Chapayev or a Kuznetsov, then that's exactly how you want to play this group. I can't stress that enough. And now here in late in this match, I have no health. I'm pretty much in full YOLO mode. I'm like, you know what, if I die, I die. But at this point, there's only that battleship that's left, and well, now one destroyer as a T-22 just went down. And then he's firing at me, but I'm ducking and weaving, staying mobile. And as you see, I'm not having to turn my ship very much at all to one side or the other to get all my rounds off. So now it's just that Clemson as he goes down. So I hope you like what you heard and what you seen, and if so, like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and until next time, happy sales.